Hello and welcome to the video number 5, which is all about publishing and pricing with Amazon DTP. Now, before we get started, I want to talk about some basic information publishing wise. We're going to use the website, which is Amazon DTP. It's a website that gives you the ability to upload your files to the site, and then you can, choose publishing features, options, and then pricing and things like that. Now, we recommend that you do it about $9.99 or lower because most of the Amazon Kindle ebooks are $9.99 or lower. And there's different pricing structures that Amazon Kindle gives you. There's actually two ways of making money. And I'll go into that a little further when I actually show you how to use the site. Now, remember that we talked about researching and brainstorming your ebook. Well, if you remembered, we actually showed you how to go to Amazon and observe your competition. So it's very important to observe the Amazon Kindle competition that is going against you. Because if you can think, okay, most of these books are $9.99 or around that number, and they're all on the high end, that means you can position yourself on the high end as well and maybe start a little bit on the lower end. But if all the books are, $1.99 to $3.99, then guess what? You might have to stick around that lower end. If you go too further and all the books in that area are a certain price, then your ebook may not be sold as much. So that's just something to keep in mind. So with that said, let's move on and upload the files and choose different options, and I'll show you what to do in just a minute. Okay, so this is the fun part. On this part, I want you to go to the internet and go to dtp.amazon.com. At this location, you can log in. If you don't have an account, then go ahead and sign up. Since I already do have an account, I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, so I just logged into Amazon DTP, and what I need to do is simply click on Add New Title. At this page, it's fairly easy to fill out. All you have to do is fill out your book information and then the rights and pricing. Now, before you get started, you will need a few things. You're going to need the document or the ebook, which can be in doc format, PDF format, or HTML. Now remember we talked about, converting the doc to HTML. You can use the doc file if you want, but the purpose of showing you all of that was, in case you do use images and things like that. But it was just a good learning experience to be able to know how to use a WYSIWYG tool, which can apply later on too as well. But anyways, for the book basics, you're going to need your title, you're going to need the author information, the description, keywords, and roughly the price that you want to put. Now I'm going to give you and show you different options that you can price and revenue sharing and things like that. So enter the title. And if this is part of a series, then you can click this checkbox, enter the series title, and enter the volume. Of course, this is not part of a series, so I don't need to enter that. Edition number, I don't need to enter that too. The description is what people are going to see when they go to the Amazon Marketplace, so you'll want to make sure that you enter the correct keywords into the description box here. You will be able to enter keywords as well, optional, but I would highly recommend that you do that. I recommend entering the keywords not only here, but entering the keywords in description here in, format of a description. So I'm not going to enter the whole thing, but you kind of get the idea. If you want to kind of get some templates, you can always go to Amazon.com go find a similar product and I don't recommend that you copy word by word or anything like that, but let's say for example dating rocks. You can kind of get an idea, okay, of the title and the product description here. This is what people are going to see, so make sure that you list, you can list your table of contents and things like that, but you can go here, get an idea of what other people are listing for their description, especially successful Amazon Kindle books, and then kind of get an idea and enter your own information here. But I don't recommend plagiarizing, definitely not. But you can always go there and look at it so that you have a good idea of what to put. So once you've entered the description, then you can add book contributors. Book contributors are basically the authors. So you want to enter your first name and your last name. You can add several contributors if you want to. Let's say you partnered with another person or you interviewed someone else and they are your co-author on that book. So you could add another person. And then you can select the title. You can have an author, an editor, illustrator, foreword, narrator, introduction, things like that. So go ahead and add that and we'll click on save and I'll see you on the other side. Once you're done with that, then you can enter the publishing details. The language, of course, is going to be in English. Publication date today is August the 5th. Publisher and ISBN. Now, these are optional, so I'm going to leave that blank. Publishing rights, remember that I talked about that Amazon does allow you to include public domain works, but they will require you to provide, information and proof on that. This is not a public domain work, so I'm going to click no. Then you want to browse and search for categories. Since this is online dating, it's probably going to be in the romance section. If there is a romance section, let's see here. There is no romance section, but I'm sure we can find something. Maybe family and relationships. Love and romance. Life stages. We could target certain life stages, school age, teenagers. Alright, so once you're done, click on save. And then you will want to enter your keywords. It says optional, but I recommend that you enter your keywords because when people are trying to find you, they're going to be entering those keywords to find you. And if you don't know what keywords to rank on, you could even look at successful Kindle ebooks just to get an idea. Alright, so if I go back here and you search for keywords or tags, you will see the tags that are associated with this product. So you could even use the same tags in your results. So dating, online dating, relationships. If it's dating for women, then put dating for women. If it's dating for men, dating for women, dating for men. So those could be our keywords, but it says it's optional, but I highly recommend that you do that. Then you'll need to upload your product image. This is optional, but like the keywords, you just need to upload that as well. Now, I don't have a product image for this example, so I'm going to skip that. But if you're doing this, you definitely want to find somebody to create image for you. If you don't know where to create, book images, then you can look for somebody who is familiar with e-cover designs. And sometimes I go to places like warriorforum.com and I look under, for example, Warriors for Hire, and then I look for people that can design book covers. Now, keep in mind that if you are hiring somebody to do a product image, you make sure that the images they get are legally, you can actually use them. So I would recommend you go to a site called Big Stock Photo and go through, look for pictures, and then send them to the designer so that your product image cover is legitimate. With that aside, book content, it says select a digital rights management. What this means is that whether or not you want to protect it. So if I enable digital rights management, that means that people cannot share the ebook. If I don't really care, then people can share that if they want. But in this case, it's an actual book. I will want to protect that. Now you want to select the book content file. So click on Browse for Book. And like I said, you can select the HTML file, you can select the doc file, or you can select any PDF file. In this case, I'm going to select the HTML file and click Upload Book. Now it's converting the book file to Kindle format. And then we'll click Save and Continue. As you can see, it's perfectly uploaded and converted. We can actually preview the book if we want to. So we can see it looks good, so we're good to go. We can save and continue. And now we're looking at content rights. Because I want to reach everybody, I'm just going to put worldwide rights. I really don't care about specific territories. The only time you would really worry about, specific territories is if your book was, let's say, in a specific state. Your book was specific for a specific country. Then you might want to click the territories. Now, Amazon DTP, they give you two options. They give you 35% royalty or 70% royalty. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, why wouldn't I want the 70%? Well, that's all about pricing. If you price your book more than $9.99, then you're going to have to click this. If it's less than $9.99, then you get 70% royalty. Now, keep in mind, what is your competition? If it's all the books are $14, $12, $10, I recommend going with $9.99 because you get 70% royalty, plus you might stick out because you're a lot cheaper. So I'm going to do that, and then the list price, I'm going to put it as $9.99. Delivery fee, we're going to allow it to calculate it. So delivery fee is $6.99, or that's actually the amount that you get, your royalty. And then Amazon takes the rest. Once we're done, you click the checkbox, and then you click Save and Publish. And then I believe within 48 hours for English books, they pretty much will approve it. Otherwise, they'll tell you what to fix. But 2 to 3 days for non-English books. And if you're not ready to publish it yet, you can always click Save for later. But that's pretty much how to do it. And within 48 hours, depending on what your book is, it should be approved and it should get onto Amazon.com. So as you can see, it's fairly easy to publish and price your book. So the next video I'm going to talk about, what next? How do you promote your ebook? And just keep in mind that on autopilot, you are going to be able to make, a couple $100, but you want to take that further and make a lot more money. But how do you do that? So let's talk about that in the last video.